Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're back for another Safer Sephiroth clear, this time using a Thunder Element team and some new units. In this case, we're going to be using Winged Officer Celeste, and we're going to try and get this thing done in 3 turns. So let's go ahead and grab our friend, in this case an EX3 Winged Officer Celeste from MK Ultra. Very cool. And we got the rest of our team set up as well. Abigail is here just for tanking, and honestly, she's overgeared with way too much earth and fire resistance. And then her skills are going to take us the rest of the way. You could do that in a number of ways. Just give her 100% earth and fire resistance, and she's pretty much set. But mine's way overdone. You don't need that much of everything. Ihana is here, wearing just her TMR, or STMR rather. But really, he doesn't even need that. I just happen to like putting their stuff on them. Also wearing the Leave Things to Me vision card, which is going to put up a 25% Greatsword Imperil on the first turn, which is going to help us do a little bit of damage on the first turn. Vanille is here, doesn't really need any of this gear. I just like to give people, something. She is doing a little bit of support chaining, but doesn't really matter that much. Sylvie is here as a passive provoke unit, and because we're not going past turn 3, we don't need death immunity or anything like that. But make sure she's got passive provoke somehow. She doesn't even need the evasion because of the way we're doing this clear. But the passive provoke is important, so make sure she's got that. In my case, she's got perfect provocation, and her gear is the same in both forms. Finally, we got Winged Officer Celeste, and she's wearing a bunch of Clash of Wills gear and her TMR. And then in the gear slot, she's got like chain speed and attack stats and hateful agent and etc. So she's got all the relevant stuff: capture, double hand, human killer, LB damage. She's got a Veritas of the Frost vision card. MK's is a little bit different, but this is going to work. So we've got some human killer, some Clash of Wills gear. And then you got the EX3 ability because MK is EX3, and that's gonna be really cool. So Rick's vision card, pretty straightforward. She's easy to gear for human killer. So let's go ahead and get into this fight and try and get this thing done on turn 3. Now, since we're going for a turn 3 Thunder Clear, you can probably guess that Sylvie is going to go ahead and use her Rolling Amplify. You might also say, aren't you going to get dispelled? Well, yeah, but it's going to come back every turn for the next 3 turns, so cool. Lightning Blessing, we're set for the next 3 turns. We're also going to use I've Got Your Back on my Celeste, just to kind of buff our stats a little bit more, and for this chip damage that we're going to do here on turn 1. And then Sylvie can just use whatever. Clever Paladin Strike, why not? To go with that, Vanille is going to put up the brakes, or not the brakes, the Imperil and the Imperil Field, and then fill her LB just for something to do. We'll go ahead and let Sylvie and Vanille do their thing. Okay. Since we are doing some chaining here, Ihana is going to use Human Rune on both of our Celestes. And then Abigail is going to use her Cover, and then Shelga, and then Contingency Plan. So all of that's going to get dispelled, and then the next turn, Contingency Plan and Sylvie's Rolling Amplify are going to come back. So we're going to be ready to go to survive the next few turns. As far as our chip damage here on the first turn, our Celestes are going to do, together, Battlefield Brave, Speedy Slash, Battlefield Blur, and hopefully do a little bit of damage here. Now, because we're not using her shift limit verse first, we don't have a Greatsword Imperil other than the one that we got from the vision card, which is why that comes in handy. So let's go ahead and do some damage here. Very good. Dispel, Shadow Wing, Flare, no damage, doesn't really matter. We're in pretty good shape, right? Okay. Sylvie's going to use Leaping Love on the party for a mod boost and stat buffs for our Celestes. And our Celestes are going to go back to the base form and use Surpassing Limits Plus, Coordinated Teamwork. Mine's going to use an Energy Slash. MK's is going to put up the field. So we'll go ahead and do Surpassing Limits, Coordinated Teamwork, and Dazzling Neon. There we go. And then to just kind of help with that, our Vanille is going to chain, triple Bolting Strike, just to kind of go with Celeste. Ihana is going to go ahead and put up the Human Runes again because we lost them. There we go. And then Abigail is going to put up like Drone Cover and Shelga and Veil because we got nothing better to do with our time. And let's go ahead and let these 2 chain up. Cool. Flare and Peril will fly up. Nothing really happens. We don't lose any health. Boss is basically harmless. At least for the first 2 turns. Boss does have Mirage stacks now, so Abigail's going to get rid of that using enemy data analysis. Thank you. And Ihana is going to put up the human runes on Sylvie and Vanille. That way everybody has every edge they can. Our Vanille and our Sylvie are going to just chain with Annihilating Shot and Clever Paladin Strike. They are just here to help build our chain a little bit for our Celeste, who are going to do the real damage. In their shift form, Limit Burst, Fight in Flight. And we're pretty much there. So we're just going to let Sylvie and Vanille build the chain, and then Celeste take over, and hopefully take this boss out on turn 3. And there you have it. Turn 3. Let's see how our damage breakdown went. Pretty evenly distributed. You know, that's pretty good. You know, mine did a little bit more damage, does have slightly higher stats, but that means that that the builds are pretty comparable and really pretty good damage. That's great. Mine also did do an extra attack action on the second turn. And then Sylvie out-damaging Vanille. That's pretty fantastic. Now, Sylvie did have better gear, and we had a sword and Peril in place, so, you know, whatever. But there you go. All missions, 3 turns with Celeste. Hopefully that's useful to you. And if you're looking for more options, you know, feel free to ask sometime, and we'll see you in the next one.